Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Cnft.tools Discord server. My name's ToolSin, and I'm joined by the Book of Ikigai. So if you guys would like to introduce us, and we can get exploring the goodness you bring to the Cardano blockchain.
Of course, and you mentioned the word really well. A lot of people have like difficulties, saying Ikigai, but yeah, that's how it's pronounced. But yeah, my name is Peppers. I'm one of the co-founders. I am also the founder of a project called CypherKicks. It's well known in the community. It's been around for a year. Now I'm the co-founder as well of this new project, the Book of Ikigai, and with me is Maria today. So Maria, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Maria. I'm also a co-founder of the Book of Ikigai. I'm responsible for project management, community management, and social media. I've been in the Cardano NFT space for about a year now, and I have experience as a moderator for about the same amount of time in the space. I'm also an e-commerce business owner, so I'm taking, some of the knowledge that I've learned to build brands in the real world and bring that over to Web3. Our third co-founder is David. He's known in the art world as Tetsuo. He's our artist as well as our co-founder, like I said. Um, he has a lot of experience as a freelance artist working for comic book companies, and this will be his first NFT project.
Oh wow! So how long ago was it that you guys came together to form this project?
I actually think it was about 6 months ago. And yeah, we've been working nonstop on the art for about 6 months now. So we've done a lot of tourist spaces. We've done YouTube with several people already. Just trying to spread the word about the project, make sure that people know about what we're trying to build here. And yeah, it's been basically like about 6 months of project development.
Wow, yeah. So how did you guys meet then?
So Peppers and
Well,
I don't know if you're familiar with Shark Tank, CNFT Shark Tank on Twitter. It's a Twitter space twice a week. We're both judges on there. So I think we met
Ah,
a little bit prior and then, we kind of became close and then we came up with this idea together as well as partnering with our artists.
okay. So yeah, yeah, some good stuff going on there. So, do you have a mint coming up soon then?
yeah. So the main is going to be mid October. Um, After CNFT gone, definitely. We didn't want the date to crash to clash with CNFT Con and Rare Bloom, so it will be after Rare Bloom as well. But yeah, the mint's coming very soon, and we're very excited for it.
So what kind of price point are you looking to hit for the mint?
It's going to be under 100 ADA. The work that the artist has done is really cool, really it's great. But we also understand that a lot of people in the community are hurting due to the economy and for economic reasons, financially.
Yeah.
ADA's gone down. A lot of crypto has gone down. So we know that a lot of people are not really open to spend a lot of money on NFTs right now. So we want to make sure that the price point is fair for those who are interested in the project. So under 100 ADA will be definitely be the price.
So what's the sort of like the big pitch in 90 seconds or so for what
Go
comes
ahead,
after
Maria.
the mint?
Maria got this. Maria got this.
Okay, yeah. I got it. So, yeah, the Book of Ikigai is a multi-chain NFT project with anime art. Um, our collection is going to be very diverse. Right now we have about 500 traits. It'll be 50-50 male female characters. And like we said, we've been spending the last 6 months on the project. There's also a lore component to the art, which will be told in the form of a manga. We'll be having a digital manga, which will be released in the form of NFTs. And anyone that holds all of the digital manga will be able to redeem a physical book of the manga. So we have a lot of utility, a lot of in real life utility, including the manga. We also have a lot of merch planned. Um, like I mentioned at the beginning, our collection is going to be cross chain. So our first drop is going to be on Cardano, and anyone that holds a certain number of Cardano NFTs will get a free drop on Ethereum. In addition to that free drop, there will also be like a mint And the goal of that is to bring more people into our brand, into the Book of Ikigai, outside of the Cardano ecosystem. But we'll always be a Cardano first NFT project. But we feel that spreading cross chain will enable us to grow our brand beyond what we could do on Cardano. We'll also be at CNFTCon this weekend. We've already put in our own money pre-mint for the project. And, you know, we have a lot of confidence. We love the art that our artist is putting out. You know, we feel that we have some good utility, and we're excited to bring the project to Cardano. Was that 90 seconds? I have a little bit longer.
I mean, I stopped caring as soon as you started talking, to be honest. So, you know, it sounds mightily impressive, and we've got quite a bit to get through by the sound of it. The ETH airdrop. Do you know how many Cardano NFTs will be required to get that?
Yeah, so we're thinking about three. So if you own three, the Book of Ikigai NFTs, whether you mint them or you sweep them or you collect them from, you know, you buy them on JPEG Store, whatever you do, you'll be able to basically redeem that. Not even redeem, like if you hold them, we'll airdrop you the Ethereum NFT artwork. And that NFT collection in Ethereum, it will have like different artwork, but it will still remain within the world of the Book of Ikigai. Just having access to that community of collectors on Ethereum will be key in, you know, for plans to grow the project even beyond Web3 in the future. So we have a lot of ideas, and we have a lot of things that we want to do, but we want to make sure that we have the right community behind us and that we have enough numbers to back us up, basically.
Yeah. So, how many NFTs are there going to be?
So we're going to keep the collection at around 5,000. So we don't want to do too many numbers. Like we don't want to go, for example, for 8K or 10K. Obviously, not the right call during this market. However, we still need the right amount of numbers to be able to grow the project into what we believe it can become. So yeah, for example, doing 1,000 or 2,000 is not realistic in terms of what we want to accomplish. This project has a lot of ideas and a lot of things that we can get done in the future. So making sure that we have the right number of people in the community is basically a key of what we want to accomplish.
So will that be 5,000 spread across both chains, or 5,000 on Cardano and say another 5,000 on Ethereum?
Yeah, it's going to be 5,000 on Cardano, and both collections will be different. They will still remain within the same universe, like the Book of Ikigai world, basically. But yeah, we have plans for the Ethereum one, but we're very focused on the Cardano one first. Whatever happens on what will happen in the future for the Ethereum one will be announced later on. But yeah, we'll still keep our promises, of course, of airdropping the free NFTs from Ethereum to holders of 3 Ikigai NFTs on Cardano. And there will be more NFTs in that collection that will be sold through a drop as well.
Yeah, I mean that sounds awesome. So is there going? So how is the manga side of and everything going to work? Is that going to be using characters from the NFTs that you're going to be minting?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them might appear in future artworks or small collections, or they will just remain within the manga, right? It will be. We're planning for something interactive, so the goal is that you can, for example, flip the pages and things like that for the Web3 manga. That's something that we're working on. But the fun part is that we'll be releasing, let's call them like by chapters, right? So if you own all the chapters, we'll basically send you the physical manga for free, like Maria said before. So if you collect the Web3 manga, you will receive the physical one in real life. We want to make them number. We want to make sure that they're collectibles, and we want to make sure that people really like them. Our artist has worked in comic books, for example, in the past for freelancing and things like that. So he has experience with comic books, manga, things like that. So going to be very interesting. We already have shown some art that might give people the idea of what the manga art could look like, and we've received very positive feedback so far.
Okay, so does the mint price include worldwide shipping for those then?
Yeah,
Uh,
so
yep.
if all you need to do is hold the all of the digital manga and you'll get it for free. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you'll receive it the manga for free. We'll ship it to you, we'll cover the cost of the shipping for that.
Yeah, and it's not a one-time thing. It's not like, oh, just let's do it once just to keep a promise. No, it's something that we want to continue to do in the future. We think that integrating Web3 with in real life physical items is key for growing a brand like ours. So it's going to continue to happen.
So, have you guys got like a lot of experience in sort of like in sort of like sorry in shipping and doing that sort of thing already? I mean, I know Maria said you were
Yeah,
involved in some similar stuff, similar-ish stuff.
yeah. So that my business for the past 7 years, I founded an e-commerce. It was an event decor business for weddings and parties and things like that. So yeah, that was pretty much it was a lot of what we did was supply chain. So importing the inventory, received it at our warehouse, and then shipping it out internationally. So yeah, I have experience with that. I do that almost every day. Um,
I mean,
so that's definitely
yeah. Sorry,
no. Go ahead. You
I
can
was going to
ask your
ask,
question.
where are you guys based?
I'm currently
So
based
yeah,
in Las Vegas. Peppers is in Chicago, and our artist is based in Venezuela.
Oh, okay. So you've definitely got the Americas covered for shipping. Um,
yeah, and South
just
America too.
yeah, for sure. Just got to work on Europe and Asia, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we got it. We've done things like that in the past individually. Like I've done it for my business. Maria has a lot of experience in that type of things as well. So we got this covered. It's not going to be that complicated, in our opinion. But yeah, it's going to definitely be a lot of fun seeing people basically get this type of physical rewards, right? Like actual real rewards for holding NFTs and things like that. I think it's one of the things that a lot of projects really don't focus too much on, but collectors really appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. I mean, is there any special considerations for shipping the type of packages you're going to be shipping? Because obviously,
Yeah, as
flying
long as
around the
we
world,
know.
things often get battered.
Yeah, so we'll evaluate different approaches. One approach could be, for example, getting just printing the ones for the Americas in the U.S. and printing the ones for Europe, Asia, in Europe, for example, and just handling those individually, like those orders individually. Um, but we are not too concerned about that. We know that we can get it done. We'll have the funds to do it, and it's going to be a lot of fun for sure.
Superb. So I was looking a little bit at the roadmap on the website, and it was saying about Ikigai holders having voting power over the funds in the community treasury. So how does the community
Sure.
treasury get funded, and what kind of options are the community going to have?
So 3% of royalties, basically, actually 3% of secondary sales. So half the royalties will go towards the community treasury. Will basically fund that with that money. So every month we'll basically just move 3% of the royalties received through 50% of the royalties received through the month onto a community treasury. We're still considering the best way forward in terms of like how do we make the community treasury a little bit more decentralized. So we're even considering having a DAO on Ethereum or actually having them on Cardano if we have the tools on Cardano to make it happen. Assign key to community members maybe. But yeah, if you hold, for example, five the Book of Ikigai NFTs, you have 5 votes, and you can submit proposals. So, for example, if we have 50,000 ADA in the community treasury, and you feel like doing something really cool with it, it might have like some sort of potential. Maybe like sending people who own 5 Ikigai NFTs a print of an artwork or something like that for free. Then the community treasury could, for example, cover that. If you feel like maybe paying for a billboard in Times Square or something like that would be fun and bring awareness to the Book of Ikigai, maybe previous to a meme or something like that. then you can submit a proposal, and we will get it done with the money from the community treasury. So the community treasury is basically something that the community has control over. They decide what the funds are going to be used for, and the founders have no say in terms of like, oh yeah, let's do it or not. Like we will vote just like everyone else based on how many Ikigai NFTs we own personally. We'll obviously only buy Ikigai NFTs through the secondary market. We'll not mint them. I don't think that's a good idea. But yeah, basically the idea is that the community controls those funds.
Okay. Speaking of secondary market action, will you guys be listed on cnft.tools?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
I say, well, I don't ever like to assume these things.
No, but we will. We have to, right? Being on CNFT tools is key. The community loves that, your website, and yeah, we have to be there, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a place for some good early info when you're looking to snipe people that just want to flip and get out.
Yeah, and even with more marketplaces opening soon, I've seen some projects working on marketplaces. Like even finding NFTs through different marketplaces, Cnft tools is still like the best tool for that. Like you can search for different marketplaces within one collection on one website, so it's definitely very useful.
Yeah, well, the guys have done a lot of work. There will be a new version of the website coming soon.
That's great.
Quote unquote soon, I should say. It's dev speak soon, I should say. So we'll see exactly when it's coming, but it is like soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that, obviously. Sure. How long do you expect it to be before you're able to start doing the merchandise side of everything?
It shouldn't take too long. Go ahead, Maria.
Yeah, I'll touch a little bit, something we haven't touched on yet. Currently, right now, what we're doing is we have a Genesis collection of 100 NFTs that we're currently sending out invites for, and those are going to friends, allies of the project, the most active community members in our Discord and on our Twitter. And one of the cool utilities with that is anyone that's holding a Genesis NFT, in addition to, perpetual whitelists, perpetual discounts on any mint, you're also going to get a free t-shirt. So that's going to be the first merch that we put out. And it's going to be really special because it's really limited supply. There's only 100 of them, and it's free to anyone that's holding that Genesis NFT. But for the merch, we've already made some prototypes. I have like a sweatshirt. I have like 3 or 4 t-shirts that we've made so far that I've worn in interviews in the past. So yeah, we're definitely making some stuff, and so I think right after the mint is when we expect to be releasing that t-shirt for the Genesis.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be awesome. Is there going to be male and female versions?
Yeah, it's going to be basically half and half, and that's one of the reasons why it's taking so long to create the whole collection, because like we're putting a lot of effort into both characters, right? A lot of collections you see them and like the male is better than the female or vice versa. For the Book of Ikigai, we think that both look amazing, and we're very proud of what the artist has been able to accomplish in this time. So yeah, there will be both male and female, and it will be basically a 50-50 in the collection.
So have you been able to leverage your existing connections in the space to be able to move this along faster than you might otherwise, Maria? Or has it been very much a learning experience with sourcing the different fabrics and stuff?
No, I think it's been the prototypes came out really nice. But Peppers, I think he was asking if we're gonna have male and female shirts.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. So all the designs we've done all the designs we've done so far for female, because we send them basically to Maria so she can like check the quality, wear them, see how they fit, things like that. But yeah, we'll have for male as well. Definitely.
Yeah. So if you hold the Genesis, you'll just tell us your size, and if you want the male version or the female version of the shirt.
Yeah, if you have a Genesis scene, I'm not gonna send you a blouse. Don't worry.
I say, well, you never know. I mean, I'm quite a big guy myself, so Might have to see if I can get my hands on one just so I can do a Hulkamania out of it. So, what kind of timeline do you think it's going to be until you're sort of like ready with all the stuff for the manga?
So the manga should take us about a few weeks to a month after the initial drop. The artist will actually start working on that like right after the mint. He's still working, for example, on some like making some traits better, improving some traits that we have. The collection is basically done, but he loves to tweak things, so he's always sending us stuff that we have to now replace or change or add. But yeah, right after the drop, we're gonna start working on it, share some like sneak peeks and things like that of how the manga's looking. And yeah, he will also be working on some customs for people who own the Genesis, for example. That's one of the utilities that he has. But yeah, he works very fast though. That's something I'll give him. He works very fast, and the quality is always very good. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how many traits did you say that you guys had already?
Ooh, bro, there are a bunch. So from 400 to 500 traits.
I mean, for a 5K collection, that's actually a pretty huge amount.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of like what 10K collections have. But we want to make sure that the collection is very unique and interesting to people. Like, we don't want two people to have basically the same NFT. We don't like that. As collectors, we prefer when a collection has a lot of trades, but they're still like high quality. Like, we don't like it when like a common trade is like boring or ugly. So we want to make sure that even the common NFTs have something or that might appeal to someone
Yeah.
or most people actually. So yeah, we have a lot of NFT trades, but they're all high quality. That's why it's taking over 6 months to make sure that we have everything that we need.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting decision because some people really like the individuality that having an incredibly large
Mm-hmm.
number of traits has, whereas other people they feel that sometimes it can detract a little bit from the rarer version or sort of like some of the rarer traits because everything is
Yeah.
if everything's only 1% chance to get anyway, then having a 0.1% chance is it doesn't feel as impressive
Yeah.
to the person that minted it.
Yeah, and it really depends, right? For example, some of the traits are, for example, hairstyles and things like that, hats, some swords and things like that. But like the main traits, for example, clothes are a little bit more, there's like very rare ones in there that people will, when they see it, they'll know like, oh, that's 100% a rare trait. So we're making sure that the rare ones remain rare and they look rare. So that's something that we've taken into
Yeah,
account.
that's the thing.
Definitely a
It's
good point,
it's
though.
it's one of those things because you want everybody to be happy and get a good awesome
Mhm.
looking NFT, but you also still have
Yeah,
to be able to differentiate the rares and the top 1% as it were.
yeah, and at the end of the day, like for example, the super rare ones will still like have like a very low supply. Like for example, one of the samurai armors could have like maybe 20 in the whole collection, and then it can become its own like gang of people who own the samurai Ikigai NFTs, for example. So we'll definitely have some of those things in the collection as well.
Nice. So is there going to be staking and things like that as well?
No, we have not announced staking. However, we're not against the idea of working with other projects that have that feature, for example. But we have not announced anything, so I don't want to say anything yet.
So there's me sticking my foot in it for you, yeah.
We can't announce all our secrets yet.
I mean, oh, so talking about technology stuff, I do see that you've partnered with the Secret Goat Society for your minting.
Yes.
Yes.
So we love how their mints have gone. We've minted the drops that they've done in the past. We actually own Maria and I. We own SGS NFT, so we felt like it was a great idea to work with them. We also like how simple and easy to use their system is. So basically,
Yeah.
you just open the website, you sign in with Discord, and you mint. And if you are whitelisted on Discord with the role, basically, then it's easier because you just sign with your Discord account. The system automatically knows that you have the whitelist role and you can participate in that part of the mint. So yeah, it's simply a very good user experience. They have a lot of experience with like hype mints. They did the Dead Rabbits, they did the Flamingos, Journey, and they've all sold out. The Rabbits I think took like 10 seconds to sell out,
Yeah.
and everyone was very happy with the experience. So for us, minting with the right people is the right way to do it. It's very important. Like we've seen how some projects that have had issues with minting have suffered the consequences, and we want to make sure that when we tell people like be here at this time on this day, that it's going to happen, and we won't make people lose people won't lose their time waiting for delays and things like that.
Yeah. So speaking about, all the nitty gritty little bits and pieces, do you have a policy
Mm-hmm.
ID all sorted yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll have it
So,
soon though.
yeah, because I mean, I did see at least one mint recently that was killed by the fact that the policy ID hadn't been sorted out before the mint started.
Oh, we'll have it. We'll probably have it about a week before the mint.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
obviously JPEG and stuff like that, they take a certain amount of time to get things sorted out on their end as well.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I've dealt with JPEG team a lot of times. We know each other very well, so we won't have any
Yeah.
problems with like getting verified on time or things like that. But yeah, we'll be very proactive about these type of things and make sure that we handle everything ahead of time. And that's what comes with like me. I've had cipher kicks, right? I'm still working there. I'm still very active in my project, and I have experience in the space in that regard. So I know how things work. I made a lot of mistakes in the past in terms of like timing and getting things done in a proactive way. So I've learned from that, and bringing that knowledge to this project it's been very useful to say the least. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, see, I did just have a great question in my mind, and then as soon as you stopped speaking, it literally fell out of my head. um, oh yeah, that was it. So obviously, the CNFT community is fairly heavily based around Discord, and then like a certain amount on Twitter. Um,
yeah.
how well does that match up with the sort of like the manga and anime community in general? Is that like more based on TikTok or Instagram, for instance? And sort of like what's the differences in how you approach boosting your project on different platforms?
Yeah, I would say TikTok and Instagram definitely have a presence for anime. We do market on both platforms. But I would say, it is a goal of ours, maybe in the future to go to Comic-Con or something like that to represent the project, to try and recruit people from the real world into NFTs, into our project, into our community. But yeah, the majority of our community right now is in Discord and Twitter, as most NFT projects are.
Yeah, I mean, sort of like what kind of timescale do you think it will be to be able to start breaking into those other platforms?
Well, currently, right now, we are marketing on TikTok and Instagram. But yeah, it's just the our bigger presence right now is definitely Twitter and Discord. But to go to events and things like that, yeah, I think that's something that we could do a few months after our mint. It obviously depends on which event is coming up and what the event is.
Yeah, so the other question I should ask actually is how long after the first mint do you expect it to be until the Ethereum both airdrop and mint, I assume, sort of like simultaneously?
So yeah, so that will take several months. First of all, we have to obviously prepare the art, prepare the concept, everything, go through all those steps, and we'll probably be hiring people to help, along the way. Obviously, we'll have funds for that. So that's one of the big steps, of course, making sure that we can hire maybe one or two people that can help our main artist and co-founder get the job done in a more efficient way instead of him being the only one working on the art, basically. But it will be a few months. We want to make sure that we can use funds to also market that project correctly. Obviously, I personally have experience on Ethereum as a collector. I've made a lot of friends, and I've been working over the last few months on the Ethereum blockchain. Um, but yeah, we have to make sure that we do it the proper way. Dropping on Ethereum is a whole different game than dropping something on Cardano, for example. And we want to make sure that all those people who come into the project, for example, from the Ethereum community, that they are also able to understand and participate in the Cardano part of the project at the same time. So bringing people, onboarding them to Cardano is one of the keys for us long term. We want to make sure that people from the Cardano community can interact with the people who are in the project from the Ethereum community. So we want to make sure that there's a balance in there and that people can talk, explain Cardano peeps, explain how CNFTs work. People on Ethereum explain how ETH NFTs work and things like that. We want to have basically a multi-chain community, people who can interact with each other, learn more about what's going on in both blockchains.
Yeah, and sort of like one Discord spanning all of it. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, basically.
No, that sounds awesome. So you see, it's a subject I don't like talking about because I feel that sometimes I end up, you know, I I'm contributing to it to a certain extent, but obviously it's impossible to ignore the market conditions right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's possible that you might end up postponing your mint until closer to Christmas or when things start turning, or are you like committed to it being sort of like end of the
So,
month?
so we've been building the collection for 6 months. Originally, we did plan to mint a lot earlier, but we took the time to really make our collection special, develop a lot of traits, grow our community during that time. Um, one thing we understand is that not, selling out a project instantly, or like we talked about with Dead Rabbits in 10 seconds, it's probably not the reality for a lot of projects.
No.
Um, and one thing that we do have that benefits us as our artist is our co-founder. It's not like somebody that we commissioned out. So regardless if we sell out right away, we can still continue to build the project, develop the marketing, and work to sell out the mint. A slow mint might be a reality, but the market condition isn't turning us away. We've been in the space for almost a year. I think I've been in the space 11 months. I think Pepper's been in the space a little bit over a year. And we're here for the long run. We're here to build and grow our project, and we're confident that we'll make it a success regardless of when we mint.
I mean,
We're obviously prepared for both possibilities, right? Obviously, the ideal situation would be to sell out, and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we bring enough people into the community, into the project. We'll be at CNFTCon. We'll have like a 15 by 15 booth. So we'll probably be the only single project that hasn't minted or hasn't done a single sale with a presence at CNFTCon.
yeah,
So
that'll be
yeah,
unusual for sure.
yeah, but it's going to be good from the perspective of you will be able to actually meet the founders in person. So there's no the question of are you dogs? No, like you will
Yeah.
meet them in person. We're dogs already, Maria and I and the artist, but you will get to meet us in person. You will get to ask questions about the project, understand what the project is about. CDR, we'll have prints, we'll have merch, we'll have themes, and I think it will be very interesting because a lot of people will be like walking around basically like meeting founders they already know, talking, maybe buying some merch from projects they own, just like interacting. But one of the only booths where people will actually be interested in learning more will be the Ikigai booth because it hasn't minted. So
Yeah.
I think in a way that the CNFT con will be a turning point for CNFTs. I deeply believe that a lot of the hype for CNFTs will come back after people like go to this event, interact, meet like real humans, right? And understand the future of this technology, the future of this market. Like we'll have Charles Hoskinson talking about NFTs at CNFTCon. We'll have a lot of speakers. I will be a speaker myself, but it will be very interesting. I think it will be a turning point for CNFTs. I think a lot of the hype will come back, and I think Ikigai will be very well positioned, being, by being at the event and by also minting soon after the event itself as well.
No, I mean, I do agree. And while I definitely agree, the reality is that it's highly unlikely that you'll sell out within 10 seconds. I do want people to know that I think a slower mint can be, it's so much more relaxing. You can have so much more fun with it.
Yeah, and there's a
Like
project
people that joined the space during the boom where everything's selling out in 30 seconds or less. Fair enough. There's good sides to that. Don't get me wrong. But just being able to sit there and chill for a couple of days and mint a couple and actually have the chance to really bond as a community over a shared experience, as opposed to everybody all descending and then rah, 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 and then everyone flies over to JPEG, rah, 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 and then they're off to the next one.
Yeah, and also going to spaces, talking to the community, seeing what they like, what people sharing the NFTs. That's that's so rewarding for project creators.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're actually prepared for both. If we sell out right away, we're gonna be very happy. And if the sale takes a few days to happen, then we're gonna still be very happy. We're still going to keep working hard. The energy that the community sees from us, like going to spaces, going to Discord, things like that, that will continue to happen right after a drop. We're gonna keep the same energy, and we're going to continue to work in pro of bringing more value to the project and to holders.
So I do know you love a good collab, Peppers. So has there been any collabs going on, or is there any that you're not going to tell me about because you've not announced it yet?
There's no collabs as in terms of like collab drops, for example, or things like that. But we are going to have a few trades from other collections within our collection. I don't think we can say names yet, but there's about 4 to 5 projects I think that we're working on. Very well known projects, very good friends of us, of ours. But yeah, there will be some things for everyone, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of intrigued now. So the details that will be released in the run up to the mint, I guess. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We haven't announced anything, Peppers, no, regarding any collab trades, but it's coming soon. The art for a lot of them is done, and we'll definitely be announcing them soon. We did do some collab, like one-on-one pieces we did one with Disco Solaris, we did one with Ada Ninjas, and yeah, but
yeah.
in
So
addition
those are
to
free
that,
to say.
yeah. But in addition to that, we'll also have some traits in our collection representing some other projects. I did want to touch on something regarding slow mints. Some of our best projects, our top projects on Cardano have been slow mints. I think Chokong took a few days to sell out. I know Goat Tribe took a whole month to sell out.
Yeah, Goat Tribe was a slow. I mean, Space Buds was as well, to be honest.
Yeah, they were the first.
Yeah,
I
Unsigned
think it
as
took
well.
about a week.
Unsigned took months. Yeah, it just happens, right? I think it has a lot to do with how the founders react to slow mint. We've seen slow mints when people say like, "Oh, let's just like cut the supply. This is what we sold, and we're gonna continue
Yeah,
to
they're
work
doing
on
that after 10 minutes, for cripe's sake.
Yeah, so they get a lot of
what the
founders get
hell?
desperate. Yeah, sometimes it's lack of experience. Sometimes it's community pressure, right? Thankfully, I personally have a lot of experience in the space. Maria as well. We've already made our feelings be known about cutting supply. We don't agree with it. We're going to continue to bring value to the project, and we are sure that people will continue to support the project, even if it's a slow mint. We'll sell out. Whenever it is, we're definitely going to be happy about it, and we're going to continue to work to bring value to the holders.
I mean, how long is your guys' internal roadmap for the project?
Can you say that again?
How long is how far ahead is your internal roadmap plan for the project?
Can you explain the question?
So, like, I'm not asking you to reveal everything that you've got planned,
Hmm.
but like,
Yeah.
like to deliver everything that you have planned currently, how long is that going to take?
Hmm.
Whether it's, a year, 2 years,
Oh
5 years, 10
wow.
years.
Oh wow. That's a very good question. I think we're planning way ahead, honestly, internally. We have a
Yeah.
lot of crazy ideas. I don't want to say anything really,
Oh no, I'm not putting
but
you on the
it will
spot.
not
It's
be.
like
Yeah, it
the
wouldn't
the
be
length
like
of time that
it's more
the
than 1 year for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more than 1 year. Like some of the things that we want to do require. I don't want to say too much, but like it would require larger teams. It would require people with different skills, and yeah.
But yeah, I mean, who
But
knows? People with those skills might
what
mint.
Yeah, and what we've released so far in our roadmap, we do expect that to be about a year. Like the ETH drop, the merch, setting up the community treasury, like things like that. We feel that we can accomplish that in about a year. But yes, internally we have a lot more roadmap planned.
Yeah, and we'll of course make sure that we keep the community well engaged. We'll be releasing things every month, rewards, things like that. So it's not like just mint and wait months for something to happen. Like right after the mint, we'll start talking to them, sharing information about rewards and things like that are internal right now. We don't want to spill the beans on the roadmap yet because like we don't want people just to buy the NFT because they know something is going to happen a few days after the mint. We want to keep the project with a good structure, and we want to have as many people minting as possible. Like we don't want one guy to own, for example, 1,000 NFTs in the collection. We want to have a good supply in the hands of as many people as we can get.
Yeah, I mean that seems lofty goals.
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain that if somebody wants to get their hands on 1,000, they will do though.
I wouldn't be
Secondary
surprised.
market be damned.
Yeah, it happens a lot more than people think, but yeah, it's what it is, right? We'll try. Thankfully, with SGS, we'll have a good control over who can mint and who can't, and there will be no people abusing whitelists, for example, by faking stakies or things like that. So that's one of the pros of working with SGS.
I mean, do they? I mean, I know they're able to limit like the number in each transaction and stuff, obviously. But are they able
Hmm.
to limit so a wallet can mint like one transaction every 15 minutes?
So that's the interesting part. You have to sign with your Discord. They don't care about what your wallet is or what wallet you're using. You sign in with Discord, and then you can mint. So if you want to mint again, you have to sign in again, but the system will know that that account already signed in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Make
mean,
sense?
like for whitelist, that's fine. I was thinking maybe more for
Mhm.
public.
For public, we'll share the details later on. But we really expect to sell a big chunk of the collection during the whitelist period.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty bullish. I mean, it's if any project is going to need a whitelist at the minute, it's probably you guys. Being honest, because
Thank you, thank you.
I do think that whitelists have been way overused as a marketing tool. Um,
Hmm.
and people have actually forgotten the fact that a whitelist only has any value if there's more people want to mint than is on the whitelist.
100%. 100%. I definitely agree. But at the same time, we also we want the mint to be a good experience.
Yeah,
And having, for example, 1 hour to mint or 2 hours to mint without the pressure of how many people are minting at the same time as you are, I think that helps our supporters and collectors to have a better experience. And what we care the most about is the user experience in regards of everything that we do. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't really think about when someone mentions whitelist. For us, it's not just like a marketing tool; it's actually a way to make the experience better for the people who are supporting us. And getting a whitelist from a project is not like an impossible thing. You don't need to be our friend to get a whitelist, for example, or like
yeah,
grind to 20 levels. All you have to do is show a little bit of support, and we'll notice you and we'll approach you to get a whitelist.
yeah. I mean that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, that being said, what kind of activities and everything do you have going in your Discord on a regular basis?
So, we're Maria. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so for our Genesis right now, like I mentioned, we are giving it to some of our most active community members. One of the things that we've done is if you add it's like a shrine emoji to your name. We've done some banners on Twitter. If you add those to your name, it increases your chance of getting picked for a Genesis. Um, we've done poker tournaments. We've done Rumble Royale in our Discord. Just a lot of things like that to keep our community engaged.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the hub of everything, right? Um, how d how lucky were you with finding the mod team that you've ended up with?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. How
How
lucky were we
lucky
with what?
have you been with the mod team that you've ended up with, like the
I don't
moderators for the
understand.
Discord?
The moderators. Oh
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so the moderators that we have, yeah, they're really good. With my experience in the past as a moderator, we've brought on some people that I've personally worked with as a moderator in the space in the past. Pepper's, he's been in the space. He brought over a few people that he's worked with in the past. But yeah, we have a great team. We have a very solid team, and we're very happy with that.
Yeah, so has there been any parts of the project that I've not touched on yet?
That's a good question. I really don't think so, but I just want to say that if anyone here listening right now or listening right later on for the recorded um, AMA, check the artwork, check the Discord, check the artwork on Twitter. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. We have a great artist, and we're very proud to be working with him. So onboarding him to Cardano, this first collection ever of NFTs, is something that we're very happy to be doing. But yeah, the art is definitely one of the strong selling points for the project. However, the utility I think is almost unmatched in the space as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've been scrolling through the artwork while I've been chatting to you guys like on Twitter and stuff like that, and some of it's, I mean, anime is not my usual thing, but some of it is damn impressive. Like I'm leaning
Thank you
forward,
so
looking at the
much.
screen even closer now. But
Thank you.
so Peppers might be able to tell you. I'm sure I've asked him this before, but he can answer again for the new viewers. What was the first CNFT that you ever minted?
I would the first NFT that I ever minted. I did a series like about 15 NFTs of something called Space Invaders that I auctioned back when CNFT.io didn't even exist. So I'm an illustrator at heart. I love illustrating minimalist art. So I wanted to test my luck and see how NFTs work. So I created a few NFTs, and to my surprise, they were selling for thousands of ADA in auctions. I remember we used to do them in the Hoskinson's Discord. So it was like just a purely art collection, no utility, no nothing. Just like if you like the art, buy it. You can print it, and like people actually bought them, and some people actually printed them on like metal prints. So it was
Nice.
really, really, it was a shock for me. I was very impressed that I was making like thousands of ADA by just like sharing art with people, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
Quickly after that, I released CypherKicks, and I've been working on CypherKicks for over a year, still working on it. We're going to be at CNFTCon. We actually recently went to a sneaker conference in Canada and another one in Chicago. So that project is still, it's still happening. We're still working hard. We're still creating new roadmaps. We keep doing everything that we promise, and then we promise new things. And it's been great so far. It's such a beautiful and amazing experience. Super proud of the work that I've done there and continue to do. And a lot of that experience is moving to the Book of Ikigai as well.
Nice. So, what about you, Maria?
So I joined this space in November of last year. I remember it was right around the time. I studied the space a while. I would watch mints, and I would kind of see, like, I would watch the floor and watch how quickly they sold out. So I didn't mint anything right away. I kind of observed for a few weeks. And then I remember Ugly Bros came out, and I joined their Discord. They had a whole thing where if you were the first 1,000, if you were the first 5,000, I think it was number like 7,500 to join. Um, and then they're like, oh yeah, you might get a chance to mint. Well, they only had 1,000 supply in their first season. So me, I was naive. I was like, all right, I'm going to get it. They're telling me I might get it. I might get it. No, they sold out right away. Um, so then I remember like a few days later, there was a project. I don't even know if they're around anymore. It's called Mutants.
Yeah, no,
I
mutants are
was
very much around still. Very much
okay.
around still.
So I was
Yeah.
like, I need to, I just need to mint something, and I minted one of those, and I ended up flipping it like the next day. But I think like after that, and I think maybe the next thing I minted was that did really well for me and really kind of got me excited in the space was Pavia. I minted their second season. But yeah, I been here ever since, every day since, and I love it. I love the space.
I actually think my first meeting was Hoskinson's. In terms of like buying, not selling. I think it was Hoskinson's.
Yeah, that's pretty old school for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I've been around for some time. Right after Spacebots, I joined the space.
Yeah, I mean, I think we joined up fairly close to the same time. I think I
Yeah, I'm
was
sure.
like
I'm sure, man.
right at the end of April that year.
Yeah, I think I joined either end of June or early July, something like that. But I
Okay.
was I was investing in ADA way before that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a very different atmosphere now to how it was back then. That's for sure.
Yeah, way
Though,
different.
though, though, though
Things have
people
changed a
though
lot, but yeah.
people still say it's still early, just as often now as they did then.
Yeah, I would say we're obviously early, but being early is not what really matters. It's the potential of growth.
Yeah.
And we went from trading JPEGs on Discord servers with create escrows that we didn't know anything about that or about them to having a huge event in Vegas. So I
Yeah.
think a lot of people need to realize and appreciate that type of growth, even during a bear market. We still see new people joining every day. So obviously, we're not in the same place with the same hype that we once were, maybe January, December, or November. Uh, but back then, we also have to consider that a lot of people didn't have NFTs, and they were buying their first NFTs. So
Yeah.
they saw a new mint, and they were like, "Oh, there's a new mint. I'm going to mint it," right? And it was so easy back then because people didn't even do research in some cases for new projects to sell out. But now we have a big community of people that already own hundreds of JPEGs. And when you own hundreds of NFTs, it's really hard to keep up with a lot of projects. It's hard to keep up with what's minting, what's new, and what's minting. And there's a lot of new expectations that didn't exist back then. So, in my opinion, it's not so much that we're in a bear market, it's that the community has grown and matured in a way that some people still compare to the past, right? You cannot compare a brand new community of people willing to spend and buy and collect with the same community 1 year later. Things change, and we're here for it basically. I think there's still a lot of interest for new collections, new art. It's just obviously not the same that it used to be, but I think that the good ones will have a very good chance of growing. And like for example, or obviously they didn't mint, they had some issues with the minting, but the support was
Yeah.
incredible. It was there. So we're obviously aiming to that type of support. We're obviously aiming to being a success. That requires hard work, and we're here for it.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, obviously, just when you think that the market is dipping again, there's another project that comes along that shows how strong the market really is for the right projects. But yeah, I
Well,
mean,
to
the
be
market's become a
honest,
lot more
if
picky.
yeah, and I would say like if you think about it, how many projects are minting? Not many, right? And but if you analyze the ones that have minted, they've done great. Like the bunnies, they sold out in one day. Project Venus from Leah Fard in Twitter, she sold out in seconds. So there's still the demand. I think it's just that projects have to work way harder for that demand to become a thing. And you've been around, Sin. You've been around for a long time, and I think that you will agree with it. Projects have certain support and hype pre-mint, but the day of the mint, you see a huge turnout from people who were like learning about the mint that same day.
Yeah.
So that type of turnout is impossible to predict, but it's always there. Every mint that I've been a part of, every project that I know, sometimes they expect like, we have 2,000 people on Discord, so we expect maybe 1,000 or 1,500 to mint. And on the day of the mint or the day before, 1,000 to 2,000 people join the Discord and mint.
Yeah.
So that's something that we still have to consider, and it's actually still happening.
Oh no, totally. Especially people look at the calendar and the apps or whatever, and they see what's coming up the next few days, and then they'll see, okay, well this is minting today. That's got a lot of likes. That's minting. Let's all join, and then it's a snowball effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And there's also people telling their friends like, oh, by the way, I'm minting today. If you want to mint, I think this is a good project and things like that. So the word of mouth. But there's also like, people still have an itch to mint and collect and see what they get, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And that's still there. So I think that there's a lower supply of projects minting right now, but the ones that do well still, and that's a very, very good indicator of where we'll be. So when people ask me like, are you expecting a slow or a quick mint? I'm personally expecting a quick one. But we're very proactive in the sense that we're prepared for a slow one. We know what we'll do if it comes to that, and it will be nothing but working harder even and showing a lot of support for the project and bring value to collectors.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have got a lot of work ahead of you, and I wish you guys the best of luck with it all. That's for sure.
Thank you so much.
But yeah,
thank you for having us.
Yeah, make sure you keep us updated with all the mint details so I can get you on the calendar and drops today and all the other goodness as soon as I can. Looking forward to all that.
Thank you, appreciate it.
But yeah, so if you are one of the lucky people to be watching this back on YouTube, make sure you check out the links below. There'll be links to the Twitter, the website, and Discord. So make sure you join and check it all out. Say hello from Cnft.tools. Do you guys have anything else that you want to say before we say goodnight?
I just wanted to say thank you. Appreciate everyone for listening. The ones that are listening live and the ones listening on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Make sure that you come to the Discord and say hi from Cnft Tools.
Maria?
Yeah, thank you as well. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Anyone who's listening below live right now, if you aren't in our Discord, feel free to join and just say that you were listening and we'll give you a whitelist spot. But yeah, thank you, and we'll definitely keep you updated with everything that we have going on.
And yeah, thank you again, everybody, and thank you very much to Maria and Peppers for turning up and regaling us with the latest and greatest on the Book of Ikigai. Kind of looking forward to it, not going to lie. I'll be happy if it's on the 1st rather than the 31st, so I've been paid again first, though.
It will be October. But thank you so much, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you both soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Cheerio.
Bye.